Hey, yo, this is Dash, and today is December 6th, 2025, and this should be the 6th episode in the Ask Dash video series. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about or what this is, for the month of December, I answer your questions directly to you. So if you ask me a question in the comments below, hint, hint, wink, wink. If you ask me a question in the comments below, I will, in turn, reply to you directly and answer your question. So today's question comes from Worst Barbecue. Worst Barbecue actually is a great info, Dash. This reply was on episode 2, which was how do you grow your channel to 25,000 subs? So he says, great info, Dash. I don't know when you have time to sleep with everything you do, everything you have on your plate. 2 channels, a day job, family, and catering. I'll procrastinate editing my videos so I can take another nap on your behalf. So, you know, it's funny. I'm gonna say you say that, but that doesn't even scratch the surface as to the things that I do. You know what? As just thinking about it, I'm gonna open a beer. And let's talk you through my day. So this was my day today. All right. So my alarm went off this morning at 4:15 a.m. And I did not feel like it because I had gone to bed last night. It was 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is going to bed early for me. Usually I don't get to bed until about midnight. And again, I'm up at 4:15. So alarm goes off at 4:15. I get up. I am meant to get out of the door in 15, 20 minutes and be at the gym by 4:45 a.m. It's just something I've been doing since November 1st. But this morning I got to the gym, I pulled into the parking lot, it was 4:45. I like to be walking in at 4:45. So I took my time, and because I didn't want to, I really didn't. But I took my time and I got through the door, and I was probably like 4:50 by the time I walked through the door. I talked to the receptionist, spoke to her this morning, and I don't like treadmills. I do my cardio first, right? So I get on the exercise bike, and it's an upright bike. I used to do a recumbent bike because of my back, but I found the exercise bike actually, works decently as well. So I get on the exercise bike. I've gotten up to 18 minutes of cardio. So being on the bike for 18 minutes straight is an accomplishment because, when I went back November 1st, after not being in the gym for however long it was, I think that first day I was back, I did 10 or 12 minutes. So I'm pushing myself, right? I'm not trying to hurt myself and or be so hurt that I can't go to the gym tomorrow. Is my mindset, my thought process. That being said, I pushed myself today. I'm gonna say yesterday was the first day I did 18 minutes on the bike, and I'd been stopping at 15 minutes, and I've been at 15 minutes for about a week and a half or so. So I pushed myself to 18 minutes today, and I did not hit 5 miles. Yesterday, I did 18 minutes and I did 5 miles, a little over 5 miles in 18 minutes. But this morning, I didn't have it in me. I was beat, like I was just kind of beat down. So then I try to do 5 to 6, I want to say machines. So I focus more on shoulders, arms, back, right? Then I do an ab machine every couple days, but that ship doesn't sell, right? I'm trying to get my shoulders more toned, my arms more toned. And like I said, I do an ab machine, but it's like a crunch down type thing. I need from the bottom up. So like I said, that ship doesn't sell. So I leave from the gym at typically about 5:45. I get home. My day job, I'm supposed to log on my day job at 6 a.m. So I get home at 5:45 and I'm, lollygagging on my phone. And so it's like 6:05 by the time I'm like, oh, darn, I didn't log in yet. So I log in, get logged in, do what I need to do, start doing my work for the day. Now, mind you, my day job allows me, sometimes the downtime allows me to do other things. The other things being sometimes edit the videos, sometimes film the videos, sometimes cook, whatever the case may be. So that's what I do during the day. Once my day is done at 2 p.m., that's when I kind of get up. Now, mind you, during the day is like today, I actually made a turkey soup. So in between my team meetings and work I had to do for my program manager and other things like that, I was making soup today. So I started this stock right before I took taste. Oh, I totally forgot. So I get in, I log in for work, and this morning, like I said, I started this stock with the bones, and then I had to take taste tester number 3 to school. I take her to school every morning. So we left the house. We were late this morning. We normally leave the house about 7:30, and it takes me about a half an hour to get to her school. And this morning she says, Daddy, can we stop at 7-Eleven? I have a field trip and I need to get something to drink, or I would like to get something to drink. The waters are in your car that Mommy took with her to work today. I said, all right, we're already late, but sure. So we stop at 7-Eleven, get her, one of the little hydrations, kind of like a Gatorade or whatever. Get her one of those drinks, and then, proceed to take her to school. And she's early, but she's late because she does a program in the mornings, kind of to help with her service hours. So she was doing that. Like I said, I dropped her off this morning. Actually, before I went home, on my way home, I stopped at the market to get some of the ingredients that I needed for my soup. And I was back home by 7:30, 8:30, by 8:45, right? Back home, and I turned this, I left the soup on for a little while longer, and then I turned it off. And I let it cool for about maybe an hour, hour and a half. And I had a meeting at 10. My meeting at 10, I didn't have to talk much on this meeting. It was kind of just a team meeting, and I didn't have anything to present, and there was nothing that I had to do. So I kind of just listened to the meeting for half an hour. But while the meeting was going on, I was pulling the meat off of the bones so that I could, start putting everything into my soup. Also, I cut up my onions, and I did my celery, other things like that is what I did, kind of all about that time. So I'm like, great, everybody into the pool. And I didn't put the soup back on yet. I put it into the refrigerator for a little bit to try to get some of the fats off or out of it. But it didn't solidify. So it was like, all right, fine. That's when I put the things that I cut up into the soup and let it roll. So in my soup, I had obviously some turkey. I had kale, celery, onions. I actually put a can of white beans in it just because. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, baby carrots. I think that was it. And then, of course, season it, things like that. And then I also got some egg noodles and cook those in the stock from the turkey. I cooked off to the side. And then what was excess, I poured back into the soup. And then I had the noodles on the side. So if you wanted some noodles, you can have them separate as opposed to the noodles being all in the soup and getting too soggy. All right. So basically that was done. My day is done at 2. I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to get my day started, right? Again, get my, shave my head, get my beard together, and then finish with the soup. Now this morning, I actually had a problem with episode 3. Today, I'm filming this is December 3rd. I had a issue with episode 3 where, for whatever reason, the entirety of the video didn't render. It only rendered a certain portion of it. And then I didn't realize it until, of course, it was already uploaded to YouTube. And one of you guys commented, where's the rest of the video? So I then had to re-render the video. And then it took me 2 times re-rendering it before I figured out that there was still a problem. And it was rendering an in and out point versus the entirety of the timeline. I figured that part out, got it to render in its entirety, which took another, let's say 7 minutes. Then I had to upload it to YouTube, which took another 10 minutes or so. And then I had to make it live. So that was that day, that part of the day. In between, again, while working and making the soup, I was on the phone with my wife, actually, as she's on her way home. And I'm like, she tells me, oh, taste tester number 3 gets out of school at normal time and not late today. And I'm like, no. When I dropped her off, she told me that she was getting, she had guitar practice after school and she would be here late or be picked up late. She said, no, it got canceled. Great. So now I have to leave earlier, go get her and pick her up at 4, get back home. I stopped and got beer. Salud. So that I could answer a few Ask Dash questions and film them. And I'm now here. And it is currently 5:35 p.m. Now, that's a typical, or that is a Wednesday, right? So in between, and certain Wednesdays, usually on Wednesdays, I'm trying to finalize the video for Thursday. So I might be editing in the morning. I might film on Tuesday to edit the video Wednesday morning so that it renders and I get it uploaded on YouTube by Wednesday afternoon so that I can have it done before I have to pick up taste test number 3. And then obviously you guys know on Wednesday nights, I do my live stream. So I try to have the videos done and uploaded and everything ready to go before the live stream, the Thursday video, before the live stream on Wednesday, so that I can, when I'm done with the live stream, say, hey, here's tomorrow's video. Thank you guys who were here on the live stream. Here's the, a sneak peek or early access to tomorrow's video. Then the video goes live. Now, one of the other things you did mention, of course, I'm doing the catering and I have the 2 YouTube channels, but you didn't mention the range. I work part-time at the range. So every Sunday I work at the range. And of course, picking my daughter up in the afternoon, I feel like is a part-time job, or taking her to school and picking her up is a part-time job in and of itself, because I have to keep track of her schedule, not only my schedule, and then work around my cooks. Like if I'm doing a cook for dinner, right? I cook dinner for us all the time. Like today, that soup, that was our dinner. I cook all the time. So in between, and then in the evenings, usually I try to sit down sometimes with my wife. We might end up going out to dinner, or we'll go to plays. We go to a play almost once a month. My wife has a subscription to the Hippodrome, which is a theater here in Baltimore. And we go to shows. The last show we actually saw was 2 weeks ago, maybe. And it was the Phantom of the Opera. We didn't like it. We left at intermission. There was way too much going on and way too many people talking and singing at the same time. And it was just, it wasn't good. But we've seen some great, fantastic shows. We've seen like Tina and the Michael Jackson show, and To Kill a Mockingbird. We've been doing this for 2.5, maybe 3 years now. And fantastic. It is an experience. I try to go into some of these shows not knowing what the show is and or what it's about, so that I can be surprised. In the 2.5 or 3 years that we've been doing this is only the second show that we did not make it through to the end. The other show that we left on, it was something, but it was way too old-timey and way too much singing, and neither one of us were really liking it at all. Now, mind you, going to the show is okay, but when there's a whole bunch of singing, count me out. I am checked out when it's just too much singing. I'm all for going to a show and watching the play, but when it's a straight musical, like we saw, one of the last shows we saw was Water for Elephants. That was good. It was good. It was predictable, but it was good. And it wasn't totally singing, but it was good. Anyway, so those are other things that I do in the evenings and the afternoons. And most people, like if you've spoken to me on the phone, nine times out of 10, I'm on the road. I'm driving. I am in between one place or another, getting something done, taking care of something. I feel like I'm always on the road, and the best time to talk to me is when I'm driving, because then I am a captive audience. If I'm sitting at home and I'm trying to usually edit a YouTube video, or I'm trying to watch something on YouTube to learn about editing, or just watching YouTube in my leisure, I don't watch very much TV. And then as far as going to bed at night, say I don't sleep. I talked to my homie Taj. He used to tell me I didn't sleep at all, or he used to say I didn't sleep at all. But usually I try to be in bed like by 11, midnight at the latest. But in the evening is when I will answer my business emails, send out invoices, do editing, and respond to comments on the YouTube channels, and you know, I try to have, I'm gonna say, my own relaxation downtime where I won't say I have quiet time, but those are, you know, that's it. So this kind of reminds me of a video that Casey Neistat did where he talked about his like 30-minute blocks of every day and what he did in each of the 30-minute blocks of every day that he while he was vlogging and things like that. So it just makes me think about how much time I have and how much I try to accomplish in the time that I have. So, but anyway, thank you so very much for a great question. And of course, you know, don't forget, if you wanted to, that was wet barbecue or worse barbecue. Don't forget, if you want me to answer a question for you, all you have to do is comment down below, ask your question. Don't forget to hurry up and get those questions in because we are filling up. And that once 31 questions come up, I'm done answering questions and sitting out in the cold. So thank you guys again. I'll see you tomorrow.